So employers are like not hiring people that are too lazy and too unresponsive to even like learn and educate themselves. They're looking for people that are hungry for knowledge, that are willing to put in the work and effort to educate themselves and to continuously grow even at their job once they've gotten the job. Hey everyone, I'm Yogini. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about how knowledge is actually power and how it can lead to personal growth and open many doors of opportunity for you guys that can change the entirety of your life. So let's get started. My life is a living, breathing example of how education can change so much in your life for you. So I wasn't actually born in America. I was born in India, and I spent the first 7 years of my life there before my family moved to the US. And just like any immigrants or any outsiders that dream of happy days and the land of opportunity. Even as a young child, I was kind of like that, and I just imagined that would be happy days here. But little did I know of like all the obstacles that I would have to face here and what it took to actually succeed and live the American dream. And so I'm gonna take you through that first before I tell you just how powerful education is. So as for the obstacles that I encountered, this one's gonna be like really big. This one like took me away. So I actually got held back 2 grades. So in India, I would have been going into 3rd grade as a 7-year-old, but instead I got pushed all the way back to 1st grade because I completely bombed the English proficiency test, which as a 7-year-old who grew up in a village, what English would I have known if like the people in the village can't even speak like proper Gujarati, which is my native language. And so obviously I didn't have enough time to prepare and know the ABCs and, you know, like at least some vocabulary. So they put me all the way back to 1st grade. They're like, no, she actually needs to know from the start what to do because girl is gonna literally fail the 3rd grade anyway, so we'll just hold her back right now. And as a child, like you don't understand like the depth of that until you grow older and everybody starts asking like, oh, why are you like a year older, like, you know. And it kind of just eats you alive to explain to them that, oh, you actually got held back. But I guess like in college you could say like you took a gap year, but yeah, complicated, and that was only the beginning. On top of that, being an immigrant has its own types of challenges of fitting in, knowing the cultural lingo, or even like bringing in the right types of food because God forbid you bring anything with spices. And to give you some context, I grew up in a small town with not a lot of diversity, and so I really had to reevaluate and do a 180 in order to fit into school and make friends. The first year was the worst because I didn't understand anything that the teacher was saying. I would always have late assignments and projects and was never turning my homework in on time because I didn't even know what type of homework I had to do. So was always getting yelled at, and it was kind of traumatizing. And then on top of that, at recess, nobody wanted to play with me. So it was just like, if you're an immigrant, like, you know that struggle of trying to fit in is real, aside from the part of not knowing the language. And so I would sometimes just have to sit there at recess and like watch everyone play. And, you know, as a like 7-8-year-old, like it's kind of not something that you want to do. Like you want to try and fit in and you want to make new friends, but it's just really hard if you are an outcast. And then one day I saw a girl reading a book at recess, and I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I should start doing that. And that's exactly what I did. So I got lost in the world of books, and I loved it. It helped me learn English like way faster. And I also got to know more about the American culture. And so by the time I got to like 4th grade, I was the #smart kid that everybody wanted to go for, like to work on like, you know, homework and projects with. And of course you can count on the social loafers waiting to take advantage of the next #smart kid. So there's that too. With that being said, I didn't feel invisible anymore the more I started to fit in. But that in no way meant that I was going to give up my world of books, because reading was my favorite pastime and it still is. So my hunger to continuously keep learning led me to be more educated, led me to be like one of the top 10 students in my graduating class. And on top of that, the end all be all, I got a full ride scholarship to one of the top 20 business schools in the US. Literally, my 7-year-old self would have never in a bajillion years imagined that. And so this is how powerful it is to educate yourself, because it can open so many doors and lead to a life that you would have never imagined was possible. Being a lifelong learner is empowering, especially because one, it helps you acquire new knowledge and skills that are essential for today's fast-paced world. Two, because it makes you more confident in your abilities, especially if you're trying to achieve educational milestones. So an example of that is, let's say you're trying to become a software engineer. The more you learn about the programming language and the more you know about its latest updates, the more skilled and qualified you are for that job, hence making you more confident. Number three, it opens new career paths. So I'm a full-time consultant. So that means that we work on projects that are like 3 to 6 months or even 1 or 2 years, and in different industries as well. So like the first project you can be working in supply chain, and then the next project that you're on, you might be working in like an organization and change management for like the healthcare industry. It's very different. So we're constantly brushing up on our skills and qualifications to meet those project needs. And so employers are like not hiring people that are too lazy and too unresponsive to even like learn and educate themselves. They're looking for people that are hungry for knowledge, that are willing to put in the work and effort to educate themselves and to continuously grow even at their job once they've gotten the job. So like we also have a requirement of like you need to complete like an X amount of hours of learning throughout the year. It's like part of our like performance. And so there's going to be a lot of companies that do that as well. So if you want a job, you need to make sure that you show the employer or like the recruiter during your interview that you are eager to learn, that not only are you qualified, but you have what it takes, and that you are willing to put in the work and educate yourself to be better. And here's a tip that I've gotten from one of my previous managers. She said that look through the qualifications that you need for your dream job. And whatever you do starting now, make sure you take intentional steps to be more and more qualified for that dream job, so that you can pursue it in the future, and you know that you are going to get that interview, or at least be like on top of the resume deck, because you are qualified for that job and you have taken the necessary steps that the job requires. Number four, it helps you be more creative and innovative. So when you're learning, you're constantly exposing yourself to new ideas and perspectives. And through that, you can develop unique solutions and make meaningful contributions, not only at work, but in your personal life as well. Number five, lifelong learning enriches your life and provides you with a sense of purpose. So whether you're pursuing a passion project, engaging in a new hobby, or even just simply like satisfying your curiosity, continuous learning can lead to personal growth and fulfillment. Dare I say again, education is a very powerful tool that can transform your life, open doors, and create new opportunities. And if you're anything like me, you need action items. So I got you. Tip number one is set learning goals. So identify the areas that you're interested in and set specific achievable goals. So this could be reading an X amount of books each month, enrolling in online courses, attending webinars, seminars, or even workshops. in the areas that you're interested in, and make sure that your learning goals are realistic. You don't want to be like, okay, I'm gonna try and finish like at least 10 books a month. Like, unless they're like very short books, that's not very realistic, because you're not going to devote all your time to reading books. You have other stuff to do. So make sure it's very realistic that you can achieve those goals that you set for yourself. Tip number 2, the internet is your friend, my friend. The internet has so much information these days that you don't even know which information is right or wrong, but you can go to accredited institutions and websites like Coursera, Udemy, Khan Academy, even like some YouTube channels. They're like very professional, and you can get so much content. There's like an endless amount of information that you can utilize, and it's all at your fingertips. And you can get certifications. You can literally enroll in online school, and you don't even need to go physically be at that school anymore. So please utilize the internet to learn and like satisfy your curiosity. Tip number 3, join learning communities. So surround yourself with like-minded people that are just as passionate about the subject that you're interested in as you are. So this could be through joining clubs, online forums, or even local groups where you guys can share knowledge and share your insights. You can also join Discord groups and Facebook groups and meet up with them once in a while, and you can have your own little community about whatever that you are passionate about, and you can share it with them. That's a wrap on my end. So stay curious, keep learning, and let education empower you to reach your full potential. And if you don't believe me, remember my life example and the life examples of anyone that is self-made, because clearly they didn't get to where they are without educating themselves on what needs to be done to get there. If you found this video helpful, please share it with someone you think might benefit from it. I'd love to help more people be empowered through education and know how much being a lifelong learner can help you out throughout life. And make sure to comment below on what your life story is like and some tips if you have any. I'd love to hear your stories. And lastly, please give this video a thumbs up if you've liked it. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon. Until next time, thank you.